Proper 12! Proper Irish whiskey from a proper Irish animal.
Proper 12! Proper Irish whiskey from a proper Irish animal.
YouTube reaction vlog. So, really getting onto these videos now. I'm feeling it. You know, I'm on that momentum thing. I did a Stormzy video yesterday, which got a copyright strike. I'm gonna have to go back and edit that thing, and we'll get that reposted over the weekend. For today, I'm gonna do a new McGregor video. Yeah, I've had quite a lot of McGregor videos on my channel over the past year. I enjoy doing them. He's an interesting person to analyse for me. If you're a regular viewer, you'll know with that impression, it's just for the crack. It doesn't make me a McGregor fanboy. It doesn't mean, you know, I even want him to win necessarily against Cerrone. I'm actually quite ambivalent towards him in the cage now. I don't know how I feel, is what I mean. Especially with the way he fell off the wagon over the past year. But regardless of that, he remains a fascinating figure to me, and still a culturally very relevant figure in Ireland and throughout the world, you know what I mean? So, gee, I think that whiskey went to my head and gone off on a bit of a tangent. Yeah. Alright, so McGregor's been pretty low-key in the build-up to this fight, you know. He's purposely gone off the grid and sort of disappeared off the social media radar in order to focus on his camp. In fact, the first we heard of him was on the Mac Live channel last week when he appeared in complete beast mode, looking like he was actually about to smack the reporter. That's how bestial looking he was. I was going to do a reaction to that, but then I probably should have given the numbers that video produced. It's got like 3 million views on the Mac Live channel. But I didn't see or hear a whole lot that I hadn't heard before. He looks good, he looks focused. But today, we got some actual training footage, so that's something to sink your teeth into and analyse. So we're going to have a look here at McGregor on the pads in the build-up to his fight with Donald Cerrone next week, which is going to be an interesting fight, you know. He looks calm and composed. There's no personal shit like Yawa Khabib. The only personal thing dates way back to when, at that infamous press conference, when McGregor just sounded off left, right and centre. Of course, what did he say about Cerrone? He's like, "You're stiff as a board, I'd break you in half." And then he gave the big yeehaw.
Get on. You're too slow and too stiff. You're stiff as a board. I'd snap you in half. And that's it. Yes.
Right and centre. Of course, what did he say about Cerrone? He's like, "You're stiff as a board, I'd break you in half." And then he gave the big yeehaw. That's the only real public beef they've ever had. And Cerrone's been giving it a lot of love. It's like, oh, it's Bud Light versus Proper 12 and all this. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all transpires, given McGregor now doesn't have the personal stuff to worry about, and he just got to go in and put on a show. I don't actually think he's going to... Alright, here we go. So let's check out this McGregor training footage ahead of his fight with Donald Cerrone in Las Vegas next week. Let's check it out. Work striking ahead of Cerrone. Irish DJ on the decks. There he is. Wearing his August McGregor clothing line. All ready.
Yeah, man! Get him!
He looks buzzing.
Get him!
The laugh back.
Get in there! How you talking?
I'm not sure about this aesthetic though, the slick back. The overgrown beard.
Just loosen the
I'd say trim the beard and go back for the
fucking love it.
tighter hair, but hey, that's just an aesthetic thing. Definitely makes him look older. Have the slick back though. He's got the tricolour gloves. Wore them a lot in the Mayweather training camp as well. He looks good. He looks physically looks in prime shape. Everyone's been pointing out on his Instagram pictures how jacked he is. People saying, "Oh, he should be middleweight." He looks exact same actually as always. I think he's so photogenic with his long, limbed physique. Then he got the chest tattoo. Amplifies his size a lot in pictures. I really think he's just the same size he always is. And I still think he's a lightweight at best. I don't think this, just because he's been beefing up, I still think welterweight is a bit of a gamble for him. I'll talk about that after. Let's watch this. He's looking sharp on the pads, man. Looking loose, foot loose, back to that foot loose, tippy toe Bruce Lee style that he obviously was so famous for. That was his trademark when he came up in the featherweight division. Staying loose and elusive with his range. And that all just bit, didn't it? When he just came out like he was walking his dog. Of course, his foot was a balloon. His foot was a balloon! Came out with the excuse against Ariel Helwani in that interview. And he says that's why he had to fight like that against Khabib. Looks like the foot is fully recovered, no longer a balloon. And he's back to that swift, bouncy movement. Karate movement, yeah? He's got to get back to that, hasn't he, if he wants to be back to his best. Because the McGregor style we saw, not only the physique against Khabib, but the style, that flat-footed walk, just looked horrendous, man. Looked like a shadow of himself. Looks fast. He does look good, man. This is like vintage featherweight McGregor with that added muscle. Now skipping around the cage, he's really getting into the beast mode, into fight mode, isn't he?
All day, baby.
That was interesting as well. We saw twice, we saw breaks in between rounds, sparring rounds, and he doesn't look out of breath. That's obviously been his Achilles heel, is his cardio. Gassing out in the two Diaz fights. There we go, gassing out against Khabib to a large extent as well. And that's the issue. People going on like, oh, he's going to welterweight, that's his more natural weight, he doesn't have to cut weight. Yeah, but then you got the cardio issues, you know what I mean? Like, how's he going to last with that extra weight if he's never lasted before and he's a couple of years older now? But just on that footage, that's only footage, like Paulie Malignaggi will tell you footage can be manipulated. But he looks good there, he doesn't look out of breath. Physically, the shape is back. Man, that was one thing people kind of overlooked about the Khabib performance, that his physique looked just way below how it usually looked. He's usually so ripped coming into the cage, and he looked pretty flat physically against Khabib. As he says, he'd been partaking a bit too much in his proper 12. Looks like he's gone a bit teetotal. It looks like he's gone back to Shaolin monk mode, cutting off, doing very little media stuff. He's getting back to pure basics of martial arts. And he looks like he's enjoying himself again as well. He'd lost the fun. It's like all that, the money and glamour and glitz of the whole Mayweather thing had gone to his head. That's been well documented. I've talked about that on videos previously. No need to go over that too much here. But you can see there's a bit of fire back in the belly. And he's enjoying it again. He's coming in and laughing and having fun and dancing to the music, just like back in his old featherweight days. That had been lost against Khabib. He looked angry and he just wanted to go in and smash Khabib. Of course, we know Khabib smash him. Whatever McGregor was saying last week about winning the first round. He got smoked from pillar to post from the start to finish. But he looks like he's put everything in place now to beat Cerrone, to put on the show that he's promised. And I think, he really should beat Cerrone. Cerrone's a legend, a Hall of Famer, but he's way past his best and a little bit punch drunk. We saw how he's beaten against Gaethje. I think he's becoming a little bit, no disrespect meant, but a little bit of a jobber. In the twilight of his career now is Cerrone. Only a couple of years older than McGregor, but he's on the road a lot longer and he's taken a lot more damage than McGregor. So if we're talking prediction, I might go into a prediction after the press conference. I'll do a press conference video as well. But I have a feeling McGregor should edge it somehow, some way, yeah? So there we go. That's a little analysis of McGregor's striking work ahead of the Cerrone fight. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like, and interact with the video, yeah? Cheers, guys.